All right, guys, so tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow morning is the first day of my first ever salaried employee. So I'm excited. I'm nervous about taking on that expense, right? I mean, now I have payroll for the first time in my life that isn't just mine. But really, more than anything, I have total conviction that this is the right person in the right role and what my company needs. And so I am pumped. We're locked and loaded. He's starting up tomorrow morning. I'm meeting him on our first job site. We're going to sort of tour a couple different projects and then start going over some orientation stuff. And what I know from experience is that the first few hires are so crucial because they have the potential to sort of become the core group and to help you set the tone for your culture. Now, if you get the wrong people, they're going to set the wrong tone, and you're going to have to, scrap it and start from scratch in terms of building the culture you want. But this is the right guy. I know it. I know his character. I know his work ethic. I'm really excited about it. So tomorrow morning, I'm definitely going to film and introduce you guys to my first ever salaried employee of Anchor Acquisitions. My name is Brian Bandas. I'm building a real estate development company. I'm becoming a better father, a better husband, a better entrepreneur, and a better man every single day. Let's get it. All right, so I'm here with James Wilson, the first official employee ever of Anchor Acquisitions and Bandas Contracting, employee number 0000001. We gotta have enough digits as the company grows.
Gonna explode.
We've been going over the different projects we have, large, extensive to-do lists. James, what else have we been working on?
It's kind of vision for the company, goals, expectations, how we want to treat people and work with people, things like that. Yeah.
What are you feeling most excited about?
Honestly, just the endless potential. But I think on top of that, like the emphasis on the importance of a good foundation, like establish the core values, how we're going to treat people, how we're going to operate. And once those are established, the rest just kind of comes.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about documenting our processes, refining our processes, like you said, a lot of foundational stuff. So everybody welcome James. Whenever we're doing this, if you could squat down so you look shorter than me. Not supposed to look better and taller than me. That's not allowed. So, all right, now we're headed back. We just had a good lunch at Mojo's Tacos. If you're in the Franklin area, for goodness sake, get a freaking Mojo's Taco. We're going to go back to the house, start knocking out some to-do lists and getting some of these projects up to speed. I'll be honest, I just got back from vacation and my job sites, they're not great. All right. Excited about with what I'm doing here on my YouTube channel is that I'm committed to doing this for a long time. I talked in a different video about having that long-term vision, having that long-term timeline. I was telling James, my first ever employee today, I was telling him, man, I've got this vision that's a 20, 30-year timeline. And so when I think of something that's going to take years to do, like building this personal brand, or building out the sales arm, building this YouTube channel. And I think, oh man, that's gonna take 4, 5, 8 years to gain traction. Well, I'm on a 30-year timeline. So I just think, okay, that's fine. I'll be here. Well, I'm not going anywhere. And so what I'm excited about is years from now, looking back on videos like this one and going, dude, that was the first freaking hire. That was the first employee. I just saw, just a few minutes ago, a Grant Cardone video, and I don't know if you guys like Grant or not. He's got a hell of a personality. He was talking about having employees and how powerful that leverage is. And he goes, man, how many people do you know who have done massive things with no help? How many people you know who have built huge companies and they have one person, it's just them? I'm sure they're out there, but the truth is you build something massive by collaborating with other awesome people. And so I'm excited about bringing James on. And I'm excited about years from now looking back on this video, hopefully with James going, dude, look what we're doing now. And seeing what we've built. And I'm excited about sharing that with you guys. I've got my second person coming on 2-3 weeks from now into a sales role. And again, there's so much uncertainty because I don't have a crystal ball that tells me I'm making great decisions, right? I'm going to find out over time if I'm making good decisions for my company or not. I feel like this is a turning point. I'm excited to look back years from now and go, oh man, that was that time in 1 month where I brought on my first 2 employees and I had no idea what I was doing, how to do it, if it was a good idea, all of that. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. And that's the benefit and the beauty of playing the long game. So I got halfway through my work morning, I get hit like real bad hunger pangs. And I'm like, holy crap, I didn't even eat breakfast. So I just got back from vacation. I was surprised at the scale, I'll be honest with you. It was, I put on more than I expected on vacation. So I'm dialing it in. I got this nice morning smoothie. Look at this beast. It's got mixed fruit, banana, peanut butter, a ton of spinach, and some protein and creatine in it. And it's so good. So I got it dialed in, nice and clean. If you guys follow me on Instagram, which you should, bing, 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 at Brian Bandas, I do post my workouts on there. Now, I am not a fitness guru. Nobody's looking at me like wondering if I'm on steroids or not. I do stay reasonably fit, and my fitness, as a lot of you who have been watching this know at this point, is very tied to my personal growth, and it's tied to my business for me because it is pretty directly related to my belief and my ability to push through discomfort and push through challenging moments. So anyway, I'm not gonna make a whole video here about my fitness. I just wanted to brag about how freaking good this smoothie is. It's awesome. Y'all should make one at home, really. And follow me on Instagram. I do post my daily workouts, and for me, it's really more about accountability. Like, I'm gonna keep doing it. I've got people on there who message me about it now and then who are kind of watching. So I know, even if it's just a couple of people, I know people are paying attention and would notice if I stopped. If I stop, it's probably a problem. It is so tied to my mental and emotional well-being, and it's so tied to my continually increasing and growing confidence and resilience and mental toughness. So for me, that's what it's about. By no means am I on here preaching that it should be for you. My primary message is get used to doing hard things, get comfortable with discomfort, and go try stuff that you didn't think you could do, and be blown away when you discover that you can. Brian Bandas, professional problem solver, reporting for duty. I know that you guys constantly hear me say this, but let me describe the current problem, and I want to talk to you about my thought process, because I'm currently reading this book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. I don't know if I'm saying his last name correctly. One of the things he talks about, hang on, pause. I'm going to find it. All right, so one of the things that he talks about is the idea of earning with your mind, not with your time, right? The least leveraged way to earn money is just trading your time. If I trade 8 hours, I get 8 hours worth of pay, period. I'm not gonna trade 8 hours and get 10 hours or 20 hours or 80 hours worth of pay. So he says you've got to figure out how to earn with your mind. And he talks specifically about becoming a great decision maker, basically being compensated based on your judgment. And so this week's problem is a great example of the numerous things that I am thinking about and thinking through as I make some difficult decisions. Okay, so what happened, and I'm gonna out myself here. As I've shared with you guys on this channel, one of the things I'm doing is spending the better part of this year learning the work of the general contractor. Now, I'm not totally unfamiliar with that. I've got family members who have built for years, but it's one thing to watch them do it and another thing to do it, and you really start to get into the details. And I missed a detail because I'm new. I'm not as new at development, but I'm fairly new at being the GC. And the detail I missed is that when you put two windows right next to each other, there's not framing between them, and you have to do what's called mulling them together. Had I known this detail, I would have ordered the windows differently in a way that they would have been mulled together before they even came to us. Now we have to mold them in the field. And even worse, some of them are not products that are complementary and we can't mold them together at all, which means I've got some pairs of windows where I can only use one of the windows and I have to choose which one to use. Then I have to reorder the others. I have to make framing changes, blah, blah, blah. So it's easy for me to be like, why didn't my window supplier fix this or see this when I placed the order, et cetera? But the truth is, the main reason it happened is because I didn't have the experience to know that that was a potential problem, right? So it is what it is. It's probably a $2,000 loss. Nobody wants that, but nobody's gonna die. It's not gonna ruin the project and we just gotta keep moving. So what I'm thinking about though, as I think through that is, all right, here are my solutions. Solution one is reorder all these windows. Really expensive, a bigger loss than $2,000. Solution two would be to reorder half the windows that I can't use and find a way to use them on another project and then pay my framers to sort of frame out a new size because I won't be able to mold them together. So basically what I have to do is put framing in between them, a little strip of framing and siding and whatnot in between them and just have them next to each other but not connected. Then I have to think, how will that affect the experience and the perception of the buyer? Is the buyer going to experience a loss? Are they going to feel like they're getting less of a house? And I have to sort of envision, what is this going to look like if we make this change? Is it a less desirable product if I do that? The other thing I'm thinking about is preserving my investors, preserving their ROI. And so I have to balance, I want to put a great house out. I want buyers to pay top dollar. I have to balance the potential monetary loss with taking a bigger monetary loss, but having what I think is a better product. And I have to sort of find that all the while preserving as best I can my investors' ROI. So this is a perfect example of, as you continue to learn more, your ability, see what I know is, I know what kind of ROI my investors expect or are hoping for. I know what kind I'm hoping to give them. I know what buyers are looking for, what's going to catch their eye and what they're not going to notice. I know that when I had 2 windows here and I get rid of a small one, a buyer comes through 3, 4, 5 months from now and they don't know a small window was supposed to be there. They don't experience a sense of loss. And so for me, I have to sort of draw on these numerous different areas of expertise and experience and be able to make the best decision possible. And really that's what I'm being paid for, is people's trust in my ability to evaluate the situation in the way that is most beneficial to them and to their ROI, and also to handle the situation in a way that essentially preserves their experience. So I can't pass panic along to my investor partners. Oh my gosh, we've got a problem. I mean, I've got a problem every day, and it's part of the process. And their expectation is, yeah, they don't expect me to not have problems. They expect me to just deal with it and them not have to deal with it. So that's a great example of me being compensated not for the time, but for my mind, me being compensated for my decision-making ability. I'll also add the other thing that he says in here is your willingness to take risks and to fail publicly. Those who are willing to do that long-term will win. And so that's why on this channel, I'm sharing with you guys, I blew it today. I didn't have the experience to know that we needed to order these windows mold together and that if they ordered the 2 different brands side by side, they couldn't be field molded together. I didn't know that. And that's only because of inexperience, but I'm learning and now I freaking know. And I can't tell you the number of things I've learned the hard way on a couple of these first projects, but a year from now, I'm gonna be a badass at this. And a year from now, I'm gonna add to all of my development knowledge and my real estate knowledge. I'm gonna add a ton of construction knowledge, and that compounds over time. Every single month, every single year, I'm adding more and more knowledge, and I become more and more formidable as the owner and the builder of this business. So I wanted to share that loss, that problem with you, share some of the problem solving process and the mental process that I'm going through to figure out how to handle this situation. So what we're doing, we're reordering half of the windows, and what we'll try to do to preserve some of that cost is we will take the windows that we have that we're not using and find a place with our architect to put them in upcoming projects. Those projects will buy the windows from this project to preserve some of that monetary loss. So it is what it is. We keep on moving forward. This company continues to grow. I'll see you guys in a week.